Thanks for joining us again for another edition of Impactful Leadership. And I have two special guests here with me from Big Brothers, Big Sisters. And at this time, I'm going to let them introduce themselves.
Fantastic. My name's Amy Risser, and I'm the CEO of Big Brothers, Big Sisters of South Alabama. We're pleased to be here with you today.
Yes, great.
And my name is Brian Abbott, and I am an AmeriCorps Vista and Match Specialist with Big Brothers, Big Sisters of South Alabama.
Yeah, my name is Pastor Wayne Johnson, and we're here today to discuss some things with Big Brothers and Little Sisters, how we can impact our community with great leadership. And the first question that I have, what is Big Brothers and Big Sisters' mission here in Atmore?
Oh, that's fantastic. So our mission is to provide one-on-one, strong, and enduring relationships to children facing adversity in our 6 county service areas. So we serve Mobile, Baldwin, Washington, Clark, Monroe, and Escambia counties. And so that's our mission. We want to help children facing, and adversity is defined in so many ways. I mean,
yeah,
it
just
doesn't
define
mean,
that a little bit.
Yeah, it's, our littles aren't children that are, just at risk or in trouble, but we do target a certain child that we feel will benefit the most from a one-on-one relationship with a big brother or big sister. And so our littles run the gamut of probably, 10 to 20% are single parent with a mother, usually as the primary caregiver, who is educated, who is working, and just for whatever reason lacks local family support.
Right.
If she's raising boys, maybe lacks the uncles, the grandfathers who are here in town, or maybe dad passed away unexpectedly and they lack that family support. And so that's about 20% of our littles. The 60% in the middle are more single parent or being raised by extended family.
Okay.
They don't have a mother or father in their life. Maybe grandparents are raising them. And there's additional risk factors there. Maybe poverty impacts the dynamics. Maybe dad or mom is not in the picture because of incarceration. Yeah. Just other risk factors. And so that's by far the majority of our littles, but our littles are absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
It's just that there's odds stacked against them that they don't even know.
Right. Yeah.
And so that's what we're trying to work them through with our Big Brothers and Big Sisters. And then another 10% of our kids are foster care. Right. So they are in the foster care system and maybe live in group homes, maybe they're assigned to a family, whatever the case may be. But their big brother or big sister is consistently the most stable person in their life. So I can think of one little brother who's been in about 8 different homes since he's been matched and had a handful of different caseworkers. Right. Well, his big brother Paul been there the whole time.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Just consistently with him. So that's what we're going for, is just providing a consistent, dependable, caring adult in the lives of our littles, regardless of where our littles' paths may be starting.
These littles are, like the millennium generation.
Yeah.
They're tomorrow's leaders. They're tomorrow's, presidents or whatever, CEOs.
Absolutely.
Because you look at Obama, and look at his situation. Then look at my friend Ricardo Johnson. He came. His mom passed away at 23, and he had a little brother that's, I think it was maybe 12 or 13, and so they came out well, And so I think it's a good program. I really do, and I was so inspired, when I heard Brian at City Hall, talking about what the things that y'all offered, and how to reach out to people, and because for me it's, can I live my dream? Is it possible? And so when we connect with the big brothers and the little big sisters and what you guys are doing, it just brings a greater dynamic to the city of Atmore.
Right, and I think when you tackle the issues when they're at a young age,
yes,
that's going to alter their path for the future. I mean, they are our future. So if we can get them when they're little, and maybe they are lacking those role model figures, that's where our big sisters and our big brothers step in. And like Amy was saying, it's that consistency that they're always there, even if their mom or dad or other extended family members aren't necessarily there the whole time. It might not be that they're just neglecting them, that maybe they just have a full-time job or maybe they have multiple siblings and they can't give them that consistent attention that they need. And that's where our big brothers and big sisters really play that role. And like I said, that just changes their path for the future.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, it really does. How do or when did we start in Atmore? You know, how long have Big Brothers,
Yeah.
Big Sisters been here?
So specifically in Atmore, this past school year has been our first school year. So just in 2015. And so we've been serving South Alabama and Mobile and Baldwin counties for 20 years.
Okay.
We're part of a much larger network. Big Brothers, Big Sisters of America is the oldest and largest mentoring organization in the United States. And so we're an affiliate of them. And it's beautiful because their role is to help provide us research and things that help us ensure that we're not just hoping that our littles are better, like, oh, this is great, we hope you're better in life, that they're in an evidenced way, they're better, and we know that they're better, and we can prove it just by providing this one-on-one relationship for them for a minimum of a year. Maybe it lasts a lifetime. Right. We know after 1 year, if we have one child in a household who has a big and one child in a household who doesn't have a big, and life stays the same, whatever life is.
Right.
They'll take different paths.
Different paths.
It's amazing. Just from exposure.
Right.
You were talking about impactful leadership. And when I think about our bigs, they're all providing impactful leadership. They might not realize they're providing impactful leadership because, sometimes they don't sign up.
Right.
I'm going to, be a leader. Right. No, they sign up because they want to make a meaningful difference in the life of a child.
That's right.
So that's why they sign up. But that is impactful leadership. And they all, they come all the time. People will doubt, oh, I don't know if I can be a mentor to someone. We're not perfect. We're all unique. We're all different. Right. And I'm like, I'm telling you, we have a little for every big that walks through our doors. There's a little whose personality, whose interest are just right. You know, we align those two, that big brother and that little brother, that big sister and that little sister, with their unique qualities that make them them. Right. Not perfect, just them.
Right, yeah.
It is truly magical what happens, and it's just through experiences and opportunities. And so people, I think to change a life and to be an impactful leader, it's got to be profound and big, and we're like, no, it's really just the little things that add up that alter these paths.
Right. And can I say something? Because to me, being a preacher, and being watching a lot of people in the community, most people look at life from, I call it family glasses. How they were raised and the things that they were brought up in. They look at life from that perspective. And what I ask people to do, take off your family glasses, because until you begin to see things different, till you begin to experience things different, you limit yourself by what you think and what you feel, because in life, sometimes people look at themselves in a hopeless situation. But I always try to, tell people, today is not your tomorrow. And so this program is going to enlighten us and give us some insight and information and some tools that we can use, that we can have some hands-on tools that can help and equip our children to be the leaders of tomorrow. And so I think that was so great. What prompted you to come to Atmore?
I'm sorry, and you had asked about when we'd come just a year ago. So we've been 20 years here in South Alabama, but 3 years now we've been in Monroeville.
Okay.
And only in the past year have we come to Atmore. And I'll tell you, Atmore's been on our radar, just statistically looking at areas of the community where we know that we can make the greatest difference, where a big brother or big sister giving an hour a week of time to one of our littles who lack that kind of opportunity of time with someone who might open a new door and expose them to something new in the community. And so Atmore statistically said, we knew we needed to be here. And that there were children and families that would benefit from our mission. And honestly, it just took connections happening and relationships being built. And we're super excited we're starting with our school-based program in Atmore. And so our goal has been to create 20 matches, which a match is a big brother to a little brother, or a big sister to a little sister. And this past school year, we got up to 10. In the fall, we'll easily get up to 20. The problem's going to be there's going to be so many more than 20. But we're trying to start and bring our services to Atmore in a sustainable way. We're totally donor supported. There's no fee for our services from the big or for the family that's enrolling the little. And so we started with our school-based program, and that's and we're at AC Moore Elementary.
Okay.
We know we really want to get into the middle school as well. So We've got lots of great goals to expand, but we started in what we like to call is kind of our sweet spot, elementary age, where The children are good communicators, can express their interest,
Yeah.
and give us a framework to build upon. And so hopefully when they get to the obstacles of middle school and high school, despite life's challenges, they're better prepared and they have somebody walking down that path, not as another parent, but as just another champion and cheerleader in addition to their parent.
Right, yeah.
So we started with school based. So our volunteers that we're looking for, and we're short on men.
Okay.
Yeah,
We are short on men in both Monroeville and Atmore.
Okay.
And I mean, we got a waiting list of boys.
Okay.
Like 10 already in Atmore. And so the commitment for a big is to give an hour a week. That hour is during school hours on school grounds. It can be anytime Monday through Friday from 7:30 in the morning till 2 in the afternoon. So maybe you consistently go, you treat it like Rotary. You go every Thursday at lunch and have lunch with your little.
Okay.
Great, fantastic. Or you need more flexibility than that. You're busy, you're traveling, whatever the case may be. And we give you a window. Just get there Monday through Friday between this time frame and get that one-on-one time, that hour in each week.
Okay.
And a year later, whether you crack a book with them, whether you ever do a math problem or not, their path academically, socially, behaviorally, emotionally, they just thrive. Having that one-on-one relationship, it's amazing.
Yeah. I can see how that can impact the child's life because someone cares. You know?
Yeah.
And so when you got an outside source coming in telling you that I care about what you think, where you live, what's going to happen tomorrow, in your life. And so can you talk a little bit about how the bigs can sign up or
Yeah, absolutely. So they can just visit our website. It's Big Brothers Big Sisters of South Alabama. It's to shorten it, it's www.bbbssa.org, and on there's a link to enroll.
Right.
And they can just give us a call at 251-344-0536. And it's easy. I mean, Bryant is here once a week in Atmore enrolling gigs and working individually. We have volunteers right now from Atmore Community Hospital who are bigs. We have employees through the city office who are bigs. And so we're here. So even though we have one office location in Mobile and we're serving the 6-county area, we're in our communities that we serve. And so once connected, once someone reaches out to us, Bryant or one of our other staff will follow up with them and begin the enrollment process, because we want to leverage the summertime particularly so that when school starts in the fall, these 10 little boys that we have waiting at AC Moore Elementary, we want to have big brothers for them. Okay. And the time is now to begin that process. Okay.
Right. The summertime is just the best opportunity since we are just school based right now. The summertime is the greatest opportunity to get involved because there's not the chaos of the school going on and everybody's not as busy, so to say. They might be on vacation and things like that, but it allows that opportunity for us to have things slowed down and for them to really connect with us. So when I come to Atmore once a week, I'll leave my contact information with them. And we have some people from the community hospital as well as City Hall, but we also recently got some volunteer interest from the fire department, as well as the chief of the fire department. So, and it's 4 men right now, hopefully 5 more in addition to those 4 men. So, I mean, it's just having that relationship with the entire community. It's not constrained to just one particular, business or company or location. It can be anybody in the Atmore community, and even for Monroeville for that matter. Anybody that wants to get involved, they can contact our office. They can contact me specifically, since I'll be the main point of contact for the time being. And
how if I wanted to become one, and you here coming every Thursday, how would I get in touch with you? Your phone number?
Yeah, you could email me. It's just Bryant@bbbssa.org. So you could email me that way. Or you could call us at our office number that Amy listed. My extension is 101, so you could reach me that way. Or, again, I've left contact information at the community hospital as well as the City Hall. My business cards are there. We have our flyers there, so y'all can pick one of those up, and then y'all will be able to reach me that way. Okay. But just bouncing off of what y'all talked about as far as the impact that it has on the little, I think that, the bigs come into this and, everybody's kind of nervous. I think the bigs are a lot more nervous than the littles. The littles are more excited. They're a little nervous, I've talked to them, but they're more excited that they're going to have that role model figure in their life. And it's just funny because whenever they get through the process and signed up and they start meeting their little, a lot of the times what you find is that the big is even more impacted than the little sometimes, and it actually gives them a different perspective on life, and it takes the glasses off of their face, and then they have a whole new world open to them.
Right.
And I think that if you can relay that message to the community, it starts with one big, and then they have word of mouth that spreads to another. You're going to see that ripple effect carry off, through the lake or through the river or however you want to use that. So I think that it's really important.
Yeah, it's a dynamic. Last week my grandson and I I was doing some preaching, so we went to Ohio State for the football camp. I was telling you about it.
Right.
And so when I got there, I said, man, I got to get him there, And so when I got there, I think it impacted me more than
it does. Exactly. You did mention that, yes.
Yeah, because I was seeing all these kids, 600 or 700 kids out there, and they're stretching, and their parents are with them, and they're doing all these things to be successful. And become, the future leaders of tomorrow, on the football field or whatever in the community. Yeah. And it was just amazing. And I was pumped up, and I had my camera and I was recording everything, because like you said, it does make a difference,
It does.
Because when you impact somebody's life and you leave something that you've done positive in a person's life, and you say that person, well, I may have been that person. I may know somebody in my family that is in this situation. And when I do something positive, it really makes you feel good about,
it does.
And when they succeed in life and become, highly educated or whatever, and become a great businessman or start a business or do anything, So we can live our dream,
We can.
And so that's what I want to tell people. You can live your dream. You can be successful, Don't let nobody steal your dream. Don't let the opinion of what someone says, rob you of where you're trying to go. I'm going to say this, and then, I'm going to turn it back to y'all guys. When I was young, someone came up and told me, he said, you'll never be nothing because of your last name. But I said it myself when I was young. I said, I'm going to prove you wrong. And so a lot of times we have to prove people wrong because our critics sometimes, their voice is so strong and they bring us down to a place that sometimes we never recover from. But you got to be strong enough to say, I can invest in myself because I'm the greatest investment that I can ever invest in. Yeah. We invest in everybody else, stars, and we carry their name, we buy their product. Why don't you invest in yourself? Invest in your child, invest in your community. And by so doing, we create some positive role models that will be able to come back and give to this community. And we can say, hey, we were a part of that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And so what are some of the, I know we talked about the goals, we talked about the organization, we talked about what type of partnership and support we're seeking here in the community. Talk about that a little bit, more of the support, financial support giving, or, and we talked about basically all that in what but
I'll tell you specifically, so the support from the Community Foundation of South Alabama, it was the financial support that is allowing us to come here and make the matches that we make. We're always looking for partners in the community, business oriented, like the Atmore Community Hospital, but just community members who want to get engaged.
Small business owners,
it's just awareness. Yes, we have found that partnering with businesses, and we have a program that we call this our Corporate Big Program, where specifically businesses allow their employees an hour a week on company time to be a big and talk about just the ripple effect going all ways.
Hey man, that would be pretty cool.
Every CEO that we partner with says that, they sign up to give them a chance to do good because they see, the benefit in workforce development and investing in children.
Right.
But internally, it becomes this common denominator for good. And instead of saying, hey, on Saturday and Sunday, I need you to not go to your own child's game, we're going to do this here for the community, and you have to make choices. Being able to spend a lunch hour differently through your work environment and go and make such a meaningful, create a meaningful relationship is winning for the company, it's winning for the individual, it's winning for the child, and ultimately the entire community. And so we're hoping going forward that here in Atmore, more companies will be open to this concept. We have about 30 companies that currently participate in our Corporate Big Program. And Atmore Community Hospital is part of the Infirmary Health System. And that entire system partners with us between Mobile, Baldwin, and Escambia County. And so there's 29 other like that. And so we're really hoping to find and open more of those doors here because we're only limited, by the people willing to give that time and us raising the dollars to background screen them and train them and support them. Because there's hundreds, if not thousands of children in Escambia County that would benefit measurably impactful benefit from a one-on-one mentoring relationship. We want to serve them. And so we're only limited by those, other people contacting us, coming through the door. And I'll tell you, just being here in your church today, that we partner. The faith-based community is a tremendous partner of ours.
Okay.
And around, national research has even shown that around children that have a parent incarcerated, who we know, unfortunately, when those glasses stay on, if they've got a parent incarcerated, there's a 70% chance that they will follow in their footsteps.
Yep, right.
Just the same as your college. If you went to this college, your child will probably want to go to that college.
Right,
well, unfortunately, the same thing happens for prison.
Right, yeah.
And, because no one helps take off those glasses on that predetermined path. And so years ago, because a number of our littles, have been affected by having a parent incarcerated, we partner specifically with the faith-based community to find big brothers and big sisters to match with those children, because whoever is raising them, if they're open to them, exploring faith together, then maybe it's that in our community-based program, which will come here to Atmore. Right now it's school-based, but eventually we'll have community-based here too. The option is to pick up your little on Sunday and take them to church.
Okay, great.
And have that kind of time together and have those kind of experiences. And so we love partnering with churches. We want to be a church's mentoring ministry, because we do have very high standards on background screenings, child safety, volunteer safety.
That's great.
Guidelines and standards that any business would have that make any business be the best that it can be. Mentoring is no exception. And so we set the standards around those. And so instead of anybody reinventing a mentoring wheel for their, particular church or civic group, we want to be that mentoring wheel for them. And we want people to take advantage of us being here as the outlet for them to mentor through.
That's great.
And I think the greatest gift or donation that you can give anybody, it's time. The monetary values obviously help fund a lot of things, but whenever somebody donates their time, you don't ever get that form of payment back, and that's something that will have an impact later on. And so whenever, I saw in the news, whenever there were riots taking place at the prisons in Atmore, that just resonated even more, that those were at one time people that could have taken a different, more positive path in life. And that's the kind of impact we want to have with Big Brothers and Big Sisters. We want to get those kids when they are at that young age, and we want to have those bigs impact them enough to where they don't necessarily end up in those prisons and lead that lifestyle, because the world is a lot bigger than just the little community that you live in. There's nothing wrong with the community that you're in now. It's a great place, but the world is bigger, and there is a lot of things that you have opportunities for, and it's just allowing those children to see that, hey, there is a lot out there in the world that you can make a difference one day.
Make your parents proud. You can make your school proud.
That's
you can make everyone proud. I got one question for you.
Okay.
What made you start doing what you're doing since you're a young guy?
Well, growing up, I didn't do a lot of volunteer growing up or anything like that, but whenever I graduated high school, I just had this, innate desire to want to give back to my community, and that could be in the form of just people or animals, or even just the environment in general. But whenever, before I worked here, I worked for the University of South Alabama, and that was really the catalyst to kind of change my perception on my personality and how I interacted with people on a daily basis. There were times I would go to the store and I would notice myself in just a much more positive manner, and it was that interaction with people that were surrounding me. They made me better, and so I wanted to do something a little bit different, because I decided to pursue clinical mental health counseling, and I wanted to take a different path, and I wanted to really challenge myself, because I wasn't exposed to working with kids a lot growing up. I had some nephews and nieces that I grew up with, but as far as kind of being a mentor in that sense, I wanted to expose myself, because it made me feel a little uncomfortable, to be honest. So I wanted to put myself in a situation where I could really make myself grow. And Big Brothers Big Sisters was perfect, and I stumbled across that. And I know that, again, the kids are our future. So if I could somehow challenge myself enough to touch the lives of the children in the community, it could make Mobile, Baldwin County, Atmore, Monroeville, all of those areas much better to be around. So,
And you have done a
yes,
fantastic
sir. I
job,
appreciate it. Thank you.
and I enjoyed having you on the broadcast
Thank you
today.
very much.
And I'm Pastor Wayne Johnson, and this concludes our broadcast, Impactful Leadership. Join us for the next segment. Thank you.
I would say, number one, if you don't do it, you'll regret it. You'll regret it. You'll always wonder if you had the full impact that you could have had in this world. I would say that, we all have a responsibility to give back, and you will get far more out of it than you could ever give. Believe it or not, you could change the trajectory of someone's life, meaning that they were headed one direction, and just that experience with you, just those few moments with you on a weekly basis could totally change the trajectory of their life. But beyond that, the things that it will do for you personally, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, and your own personal relationships. If you're really about becoming a better person, if you're really about self-development, you gotta mentor. You have to get in a room with a young kid and have him impact you, because that's what happens. Not only do you impact them, but they end up changing who you are as a person. And so you'll never reach your full potential, ever reach the person that God designed you to be, and reach the potential that you could possibly reach if you don't give back on a personal, intimate level. So do it today.
That thing that is not of you and is of me. I want more of you and less of me. Empty me. Oh, God, if you find anything that's not like you, I want you to.
Yeah.